Welcome back to another episode of Chalk Talk. Thanks for joining us, as always.
I'm always wondering when she's going to end. Anyway, welcome back to another episode of Chalk Talk. Any of you ever been here before? Welcome. Today's episode is about PayPal. Ticker symbol PYPL. And today is an update episode from our very first ever episode of PayPal. Was October 2nd. If you want to check that out, it is PayPal PYUSD pivot. And today is an update on that, a little bit more information on their PYUSD coin / I should say token, because it works on the Ethereum network, so that would make it a token.
Yeah, plus their earnings.
And their earnings. Yes, indeed. Their numbers, pretty good numbers. Pretty good numbers, but a little bit of negative news for the company. But
yeah, some interesting news, I do say so myself. Well, I have two things. PayPal gets FCA approval for crypto business in UK. Basically, PYPL can trade in the UK. Financial Conduct Authority, FCA, has announced that global fintech behemoth PayPal Holdings, PYPL, has been able to register for offering crypto asset activities in Britain. And that's the first thing I have. And I'm like, okay, cool. But then PayPal hit with SEC subpoena over its US dollar stablecoin. So very opposite situation in the US. The SEC has called for stricter regulations of the $124 billion stablecoin as it cracks down on the crypto industry.
mm-hmm.
The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) has subpoenaed the fintech giant PayPal over its USD stablecoin PYUSD, a cryptocurrency pegged to the U.S. dollar that was announced to the public in August, and yada yada. PayPal is also currently the subject of a probe from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau related to electronic funds transfer. So PayPal is just catching heat. PayPal stablecoin has had a weak performance, only circulating approximately 159 million tokens compared to rival stablecoin Tether's supply of $84.8 billion. So the SEC wants to investigate the possibility of SEC-related violations or security-related violations, which are regulated by the SEC. Many members of the crypto industry are against what's going on because the SEC is coming down too hard. But really, they're kind of like, well, look what happened to FTX. Look what happened to Eros Capital, Terra Luna. And they also have gone after, we know that they've gone after like Coinbase and Binance. Honestly, I think it's just a majority of Gary Gensler being super anti-crypto.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, but hey, I don't know. But PayPal was subpoenaed today, I think today, right after its earnings. So its earnings came out, hours later, subpoena news hits the market. So I don't know if that was deliberate either, because we don't know exact. I couldn't find the exact date of the subpoena, but
Didn't mention it.
It didn't mention it. It just said it didn't. This article's from today. I didn't see any released yesterday, but I mean, just because it was released today doesn't mean that they received that information today. It could have been yesterday. Could have been right before earnings. All I know is that the news broke after earnings. So I'm like, okay, SEC, PayPal, get them when they're down. Get them when they're down.
Yeah, SEC's not really good for anything.
But their chart, I mean, Yahoo Finance has got them at a short-term bullish, mid-term, long-term bearish. 506 and now at 54.95 at the time of this recording.
Yeah, and you said Yahoo Finance? Well,
yeah, is
Yahoo Finance has them 26% estimated return. So I guess that would put them undervalued.
Yeah, they're labeling them as undervalued.
The 1 year target is 76.73. And then Wall Street has them currently, the stock trade for 55.06, up 6.58% for the day. After I was Interesting. Probably that news affected it. Without that news, probably could have maybe seen an extra couple percent.
I know. I'm like,
But
huh.
after hours, it traded negative 0.27%, which would put it at an after hours price of 54.91. But the average Wall Street analyst puts it at an average of 81.36 and a high of 126.
Yeah, I want to see that. It's a hold and a buy equally. 38%, 38%. Strong 32, 23.
Yeah.
Current 55, but the low is 58. I mean, so they're saying it's going up. I mean, did say short-term bullish.
Yeah. Here we are. Yeah, it's a 52-week range of 50.25 is I think is the low, and 92.62 I think is the 52-week high.
Yep, 92.62.
Has a nice PE ratio. It's actually dropped a lot. So a lot of analysts and a lot of banks consider PayPal to be very undervalued. Their forward PE, price per earnings, is a 10.79, a drop from their trailing 12 months of 16.39. They have a gross margin of 40.19%, a net margin of 12.93%. Healthy debt to equity is 53.90%. And they have a trailing 12-month revenue of $29.128 billion, with their next earning date would be February 7th, 2024, according to CNBC. But I'm very bullish when the SEC subpoenas someone that likes to run 100%.
That's exactly what you said to me earlier. You're like, subpoena bullish. Like, so
they have a stable coin. Okay, let me put this into perspective, right? PayPal, once they start getting on to exchanges and PayPal starts to really dabble into the world of crypto, I think you're going to see PayPal's market cap boom. I think it's going to 3-4x from here.
Probably. I mean,
to be honest,
it's near its 52-week low. This is an easy, like,
its 52-week low is 50.25, right? At the time of our last recording, PayPal was roughly $58 and change, which was October 2nd. We're here now, November 2nd. It's down $3. It dropped $8 after that recording, and it bounced back up $5. The return on asset is insane. Plus 409.8, plus 409.09%. The return on equity is pretty much the same, plus 408%. Their earnings per share is up 413%. Their net margins are also insane at plus 381.84%. Yeah. Their debt to asset, they've had a pretty solid, it's always been like +2 to +5 for the last like 6 quarters. They have a negative, not by much.
Yeah.
In a market where most big companies that I've gone over and that we've reviewed usually have a negative debt to asset right now. Other than that, their net income plus 401%. Their total revenue is up 7%. Their operating income is up 48%.
Yeah, they're doing really well, I guess.
They've dropped off in their assets to about, I'd say, roughly 2.5 billion, but they've also cut, I'd say, roughly 2.5-ish billion dollars in liabilities. So kind of offset. So their balance sheet is more or less stayed the same, I guess. That's asset wise. I mean, yeah, they changed a little bit, but dropping liabilities and dropping assets kind of equals it out to around the same numbers as they had in the last quarter. 1 second.
Yeah.
We're in quarter 3. Nope, quarter 2. Whoops. Okay. Cash flow. very important. Operating really bad. 113%.
Yep, I saw that. That was
They're
interesting.
investing's up 139%. And their finance is horrible at a negative 339%. I'm going to compare these net margins. So here on the on Webull, they give a 14.12% net margin. I'm going to check over here on CNBC. Their net margin over here, I believe, is more accurate. 12.93%. And what was the number I just said? 14. I'm going to go with CNBC's because I believe theirs is a little bit more updated, up to date. So we're going to go ahead and tell our viewers they have a net margin of 12.93%.
Okay.
Which I feel, in my opinion, is more accurate from CNBC. Now, just quickly, I think I mentioned this in the last episode because we were talking about crypto and everything and them having a stable coin and everything.
Yes, and I have extra to say about that as well.
Yeah. So I don't care that they've been subpoenaed by the SEC. What I care about is I know, in my opinion, PayPal is going to get heavily into crypto, and I think they're going to become a exchange of sorts, as well as having their stable coin, which will lower prices in order for people to transfer their money. And people internationally, not within the United States, people are using Venmo, Cash App.
Yeah.
I mean, people still use PayPal, but it's more of a I'd say popular in the sense of like, I live here and I want to send money to my family in Italy, or you want to send family to wherever, Dominican Republic or Mexico, wherever. It's more popular, I think, internationally, and so is crypto. Now, quickly, my opinion here, or my point, I should say.
Okay.
You have a few stable coins, right? We're in a bear market, both stock market and crypto market. We're in a bear market. So,
okay.
USDT and USDC are two very popular stable coins. They hold currently the third and the sixth in market cap in crypto in a bear market. Remember that again, in a bear market. USDC has a market cap of 24.5 billion, and USDT has a market cap of 85.2 billion. So that's literally triple the market cap of PayPal. Once PayPal becomes more popular, in my opinion, their token becomes a legitimate stablecoin in the crypto market, and they start dealing with more selling people ETH, BTC, whatever, Solana. I think PayPal, in my opinion, market cap is going to 4x, and we're going to see $150, $200 PayPal, in my opinion.
4x, huh?
It could take a year. It could take 2 years. But if they go down this road and they're successful with their stable coin and they're selling people ETH, BTC, and they're giving them at good rates and they can compete with a Coinbase, that's a massive pivot. And that's gonna make their market cap go boom.
Compete with the Coinbase, that would be interesting. I think a lot of companies, I think there are a few companies that are trying to go down the route of PayPal. But I think that it is possible, mainly because also, remember, I said that Britain was like, the UK was like, hey, we'll take it. Cool. And the US is trying to fight it. But if this gets traction internationally.
And PayPal is already a popular thing internationally.
PayPal's already, yeah. Also, I wanted to say this real quick. PayPal stablecoin is issued by New York-based fintech company, like we said, Paxos, which was previously embroiled in a legal battle with the SEC over issuance of another stablecoin, Binance BUSD, with the crypto exchange Binance. So the SEC declared Paxos issued Binance stablecoin constituted an unregistered. I'm sorry, I can barely read this. An unregistered security, a claim that was contested by Paxos. But I looked up Paxos, right? We've already talked about Paxos and MasterCard. Paxos works with, I guess, MasterCard, PayPal, Global, let's see, Credit Suisse.
They work with Venmo, I think.
Maybe I don't see it on this list. Societe Generale, I don't know who that is. StoneX and Revolt. And I'm like, I looked up Paxos. It's a private company. It's not publicly traded. I just think it's interesting that this company is coming up out of nowhere. It's kind of like maybe it was just growing there and now it's popping out of the bushes. But if they're already working with these big of clients, right? And their coin was and PayPal's coin was accepted by the UK. And as I said previously with that traction, I think the SEC is a non-issue in this move. I think they're a non-issue, and I think what you stated is very much possible. Very, very much possible. It's funny because we didn't even talk about this, and I was about to be like, yes, that's totally possible.
I can see them going even more internationally because they're already internationally. I've had to send money to people and vice versa, in other countries and PayPal.
If the internet becomes even more accessible than it has, with accessibility to crypto gaining traction through stuff like Venmo, Cash App, other random apps, because they're shutting down things on certain apps and other apps are opening up the ability to trade. What's Western? Is it Western Union? What's Western Union? What's all these other little sending money? What's waiting on a bank transaction because banks are trying to jump into crypto now? What's waiting on a cash transfer on a wire? What's a wire?
Yeah.
No minimums. You don't have to wait. I mean, you don't have to wait with a wire, but no minimums. You see what I'm saying? So definitely, it's so multifaceted that I think that's what the SEC is. Of course, that's what they're really concerned about. Not being able to regulate and tax your money as easy. If the money is moving faster than the computer at the IRS can keep up with, then there's an issue.
Yeah. But I don't know. I just think, in my opinion, if they're successful, which I think they will, I could see this easily being a $150 billion market cap company from sitting at like 60. I mean, even when it was at 90, it was still at least a good 85, $90 billion company. And that was without a stable coin, without dealing in crypto, without dealing with other companies and payment processing companies. And
I wonder if Elon Musk just sits and watches the information and news about PayPal, like, oh, good job. Or maybe if they consult, maybe they still consult him. I wouldn't doubt it. Prior owner.
Yeah, probably. Maybe. Who knows? A while.
But it's like watching your baby grow. It's like, oh, I've let you traverse into the wild on your own, and look what you've become. Look at you. No.
Yeah. Let's quickly check something. I'm gonna assume it's the top three, which are the top three people who own the world. But let's check. PayPal. Let's see.
Oh, and the average cost is $61.55. There you go. That's people were just trying to get a dip. People are trying to get into the dip.
Historical data profile. Holders. Here we are. One moment. It is held 75.81% of shares are held by institutions. 75.97% of the free float is held by institutions. And it'll blow your mind. Guess who the three biggest holders are?
Let me guess. Is BlackRock one?
They're number two.
They're number two. So who's number one?
They hold 75,103,545 shares, which is about 6.84% of the float. Number one is the person who owns more BlackRock than owns BlackRock.
Oh.
BlackRock owns more of Vanguard. No, sorry, Vanguard owns more of BlackRock than BlackRock owns of itself.
Of BlackRock.
So if you go to BlackRock stock and you go to holders on Yahoo Finance, you go way over to the far right and you click holders and you scroll down, Vanguard owns like this much more of BlackRock than BlackRock owns of itself.
That's interesting. That's like that's an interesting level of an interesting mechanics of checks and balances. Like we think we own something, but actually BlackRock owns all of us, but actually Vanguard owns BlackRock. So if BlackRock messes around, Vanguard can come in and be like, nah, nope.
And number three is usually the third biggest dog on the block, State Street, which is on State Street here in Boston. Vanguard is, I believe, out of New York City. State Street's out of Boston. Vanguard is somewhere in Pennsylvania. But when Vanguard first started, Jack Bogle, to start, he merged with a fund / institution here in Boston. And the two companies merged and then they made Vanguard as we know it today. But they're all three of them are in the Northeast.
Where's you said BlackRock was from?
I'm pretty sure BlackRock's in New York. I could be wrong. I think their office.
Yeah, New York.
That's New York City.
What's with all these?
They're all in the Northeast.
All these Northeast.
Yeah, it's Pennsylvania and New York. Pennsylvania, Mass, and New York. It's like the square of $20 trillion plus and within a like 350 square mile radius.
I would like to look at the net value of certain cities versus each other, and not based off of like who the government, but like who's in the city. What companies are generating most money? I mean,
New York City has the most billionaires in the world that reside.
But does it have the most corporations?
Well, if you're talking about like corporation, like
or anything, I guess, not necessarily like financial.
Would probably say Delaware, because 80% of Fortune 500 companies are LLC'd out of the state of Delaware for like tax purposes.
Really?
Yeah.
That's.
And then like medium to small LLCs, the next popular is Wyoming and Nevada.
So then I guess the next would be finance. Like seeing all that, I like seeing data. What about financial institutions? So, I mean, San Francisco was considered the most expensive city for a while, but I guess that's different metrics than what I'm talking about.
Boston is now number one.
So, but those are different metrics.
So. Yeah, demand of jobs that are here. The pay.
I guess if you want to look,
and then the housing market.
The best starting point would be, where are the best taxes, right? Because they're always trying to find ways around that. So where can you get the most bang for your buck legally? I guess that would be the starting point.
Yeah.
But I mean, if these big companies are based out of Boston, then I mean, Boston is not a tax friendly state at all.
Yeah. That's why a lot of tech companies, minus like Microsoft, Apple, and Google, essentially have gone to Texas. Outside of the three big dogs, are like, we got $1, $2, $3 trillion.
Meh.
We ain't moving. We're staying in Cupertino and California and Seattle. Well, Seattle doesn't have
Cupertino.
Seattle is Washington, so they don't have an income tax anyway.
Oh, okay.
Washington State, so Microsoft's good. But Apple and Google, they're in Taxifornia. And then Taxachusetts. Mm-hmm.
Twins.
Yep, just on the opposite sides of the country.
But yeah, PayPal.
And then Boston, just a smaller, cleaner New York.
Boston's just smaller.
And cleaner.
I mean, I think it's easier to maintain cleanliness the smaller you are, right? Prove me wrong, I guess. I guess I could be, but hey.
Tell that to Baltimore.
I was about to
No,
say.
I'm saying tell that to St. Louis.
Oh. I've never been to St. Louis, as far as I
well,
know.
no, not all of St. Louis. There's just like one side of St. Louis where it's like, whoa.
Mm.
Wait, but St. Louis is already like teeny tiny. It's like 250,000 people.
So
I mean, that's not like tiny, but it's not like major. Like when I think major city, I'm thinking like 500,000 plus or like into the millions.
well,
Anywho,
we'll see what happens with PayPal. It's probably positive, so whatever.
We're rambling. That was like a second episode within an episode.
It's fine. We should just ramble. We should just post random conversations.
People really like that I posted that Sam Bankman-Fried is facing up to 110 years.
Where did you post that? On X?
Yeah, and my brokerage. And people are like.
Yeah, we should just start recording random conversations and posting that too.
And then
why not?
Like, one guy commented, he's like, "Who's next?" Yeah. Anywho,
all right.
That's PayPal. I'm bullish short term. A little bearish. Maybe it could pull back the stock wise. Could pull back a little bit. Maybe we could see like 47, 48. Could pull back maybe like another $7-8 again. Well, you never know.
Yeah.
But medium and long term, I am bullish as long as they are somewhat successful with their stablecoin and if they can start supplying crypto to the country / other places in the world, especially developed countries like Africa and Southeast Asia are super into crypto. They can get into those emerging markets and everything and start being like, all right, cool, we can sell everyone Bitcoin and Ethereum and whatever you want. Shiba Inu, cool. Here's Shiba Inu. Buy it from us. Get your PayPal stable coin and swap it out. 50 cents. Here you go.
Everything is treating the SEC's subpoena like a temper tantrum. Like everything on the charts and everything. So
I just think it's $100 stock waiting to happen.
Good luck, Gary Gensler. Good luck, SEC. I won't put any money on you. For everybody watching, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate your views, your clicks, and your likes. Stay safe, stay classy, stay warm.
Stay classy, stay sassy, and stay awesome. Take care. Stay safe. We'll see you in the next one. All right, this is Vinny from the Bronx out. Yeah.